Hello, welcome. Good to see you this morning. I hope you're well. I've got a phrase running through my head which comes from James chapter 4 verse 8, which says, "Draw near to God and he will draw near to you." Just that thought of getting closer. Perhaps one of the wonderful things that we can do during Lent, when we can focus more. Perhaps we can make a determined effort to focus more on drawing near to God. The scriptures are full of invitations. "Come unto me," says Jesus, "all you who labour and are heavy laden. Come now, let us reason together," says Isaiah, of God saying to his people. The invitation is there. Jesus, when he meets his disciples for the first time, he says to them, "Come, follow me. Come closer. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you." You know, there's a lot about heart attitude, about what we do in response to God. We need to have that determination to seek God. Seek God while he may be found. Now there's, of course, the opposite, which is that God is always seeking us. He is always longing for a relationship with us. He is always wanting us to draw closer. He's always wanting us to hear his voice more clearly. But it requires a determination on our part. Jesus said, "Seek and you will find," not still sit still and wait around and eventually God will come to you. You have to knock, you have to ask, you have to seek. There has to be something in you that longs for God. I was thinking of two instances that to me illustrate this, that have been part of my thinking over the last few hours. The woman who had the issue of blood, her story is recorded in several places, but I'm looking at the record in Mark 5, verse 27. This was a woman who for 12 years had suffered bleeding and terrible, and she'd spent everything she had, and she just got worse, she didn't get better. And she said to herself, "If I touch even his garments, I shall be made well." And there was a huge crowd pressing round Jesus, and she was determined, and she pushed through the crowd, closer and closer, till she could touch just his clothes, just to get closer to him, to draw near to him, to get closer. However close you are to God today, you can get closer. You can want more. However much you know of God, you can want to know more. However much. But there's a difference between knowing about God and knowing God. This woman knew. She'd heard reports about Jesus. She'd heard people had been healed. She knew, in theory, what Jesus could do for her. But she had to push through herself. She had to reach Jesus herself. And she pressed through until she reached his garments, and she just touched them. And the power came out of him to heal her. She wanted to get closer to Jesus. And the other one was the blind man. I think in one of the stories, one of the Gospels, he's called Bartimaeus. But I'm looking at him in Luke 18. He was a blind man. He was sitting by the roadside. He called out to Jesus for mercy. And in verse 40 of Luke 18, it says, Jesus stopped and commanded him to be brought to him. And when he came near, he had this conversation. This man was brought nearer to Jesus. Jesus could have healed him at a distance, but he drew him nearer and had a conversation with him, a personal encounter with Jesus. We need to draw near. We need to get closer. We need to press in, whatever phrase you would like to make, but it requires effort. It requires determination. It requires a thirst and a hunger for Jesus. You remember Jesus said to that lady at the well in John 4, ask me and I'll give you water and you'll never thirst again. We need Jesus, the water of life, Jesus, the bread of life, Jesus, the light of the world, Jesus, the centre of everything that we will ever need. Let's use this Lent time to draw closer, to press in, to reach out to him, to use that determination within ourselves to want more. However much you know, however much you've experienced of God, there is more. He's bigger, he's deeper, he's more profound, he's more amazing. Seek and you will find. Knock and it'll be opened. Ask and it'll be given to you. I want more of you, Lord. I want to hear you more clearly. I want to know your heart. I want to draw closer. I want to reach out and touch your garment. I want to have conversations with you. I want that very close, very intimate knowledge of you. My heart longs for you. Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. My thought for the day. I'll see you tomorrow. Be blessed today, I hope. Bye-bye.